I have a special revealment to make. We are proud to say there is a Hotpoint 95 series back on the channel. Here is the newly re-energised and refurbished and overhauled Hotpoint 9530W electronic 1000 plus washing machine. No specific date code on this one, so keep yourselves tuned in, watch in HD, because you are watching Florence Ballard A3060, the channel made in honour of the original Supreme Florence Ballard, the Shirelles and Hoover's first 1100 RPM automatic, the A3060 electronic 1100. Yes, you did hear that correctly, and you are seeing the title correctly. This is a Hotpoint 9530W, meaning brown and white. Your eyes aren't going funny, this is a brown and white model. You guys know the story about what's happened. The other 9530A, the original 9530 that we call Barbara, is in the shed at the moment, still awaiting a 9534 fascia and a new lid. But I do have those parts sourced, just waiting to arrange a time for them to be sent here. So this is one that I picked up off Gumtree for £10. It was more than just a leak, trust me. I'll explain what we fixed. I've got some of the original parts still here. This is the old drawer housing out of the machine. Completely split and full of limescale. I've never seen a washing machine so badly corroded with limescale. So obviously the leaking was the machine filling through, then blasting out the side of the drawer. Just by looking at these towels, you can see the amount of work that was done on this machine. We've fitted new, the bearings were shot on this machine, but not shot totally. They were on their way out, so although the drum was still running smooth, the machine practically sounded like a Boeing 747 when spinning. The motor bearings are on their way out. I have greased them up as much as I possibly can. This will hold off until we get the new motor sometime this week. I have spotted one on eBay along with an 800 RPM one for a 9520 or so. The trouble is you can't fit any 95 motors to these machines. These have the earlier 6 pin plugs, but it's 2 rows of 3, not like the ones that the Cassata uses and whatnot, or the one that Kai's 9546 will use. They changed it for the later 95s, possibly due to the Pekka system. This machine sports all the original trims, apart from the right hand side one's slightly chipped at the back, but that's fine. So everything's original, just like Barbara is on this one. I've cleaned up the drawer as much as possible with some Kill Rock. There's some limescale there. Perfect fascia. There was a little chip there, but I've glued that back. You might notice the dial looks slightly different. You've got a red 6 as opposed to the white one. This dial is actually off the 1988 models. There's either a 9534 or a 9524. I don't know, it's come off something. But yeah, she's a brown and white model. She has the mottled door, not the gloss door that Barbara has. You can tell this is a replacement door because there's no date code on there. So unfortunately I'm not able to pinpoint a date on this machine. But she is before mid-1987 because the drain pump is still on the left-hand side. Original drum rim, seal was mouldy, but you can see the limescale on there. Drums are always a bit loose on these machines. Apart from that, I've given her a real good clean up. She came back looking like she'd come out of something of a farm. But everything works fine. I've taken the neon lights back there because they were snapped off their original holders. Always happens with these machines. But yeah, the trims are perfect on this. I even put a new drain hose. But we're going to fix up a system that allows both machines to drain behind. So hopefully the meter will chug. This machine has also got a WM or either a WM range or a late 9.5 pump on the machine, so the machine drains a lot slower. I've also noticed the water level has dropped on this machine to just below the door as opposed to up here, so I don't know if that's the pressure switch that needs adjusting or whatnot. It should be fine for the load of towels we're going to do. We're going to do program 1 85 degrees Celsius white cotton with a pre-wash. We always do the maximum amount of program options available for the first load. Now, for those who have still not watched the video of the update or whatnot, or are confused as to why I've now got a 9530W, before you ask, I am not replacing Barbara. This machine has not replaced her. You guys know how I'm all very fussy about the colours of the machines I want. I'll turn down a washing machine because it's the wrong colour. Even if it's the model I want, has to be the colour. I prefer the brown and white models of the 95s, purely because it's what I grew up with, and I think they look more 80s to me than the almond ones. I do like the almond colours, but just not as much as I like these ones. The 9530W was what I'd always wanted, but it was very hard to find one because it was always the almond ones that show up until recently. So what we've decided to do is I took this one, originally was going to be spares. We're going to just take the fascia off, but I didn't want to scrap what was pretty much going to be a perfectly working 95. Although I did say if the machine had any more faults than a leak, I was going to strip the machine down to the bare minimum, but I thought, me and James had a discussion, as you know, James Rankin, and we said, I'll keep this one. The 9530A is going to be repaired. There's nothing wrong with that machine at all apart from the fascia and lid, so we're going to get new ones. We're going to get a new lid for that machine from a 9536, owned by a collector, and I can't remember what else the other thing the fascia's coming off James's 9534, but I have said if I find another 9530 in the future, I will get that fascia on there. So essentially, I have two 9530s. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling too much about what's going on with that machine, because that's all to be revealed a little later, but what I'm going to do after I get her fixed, she's going to temporarily go to Kai, who is the Vintage Boy 34, and he's going to temporarily take ownership of her, because I want to clear the space in this house for a fifth machine again. As I said, I want something to replace the Asco with, so I don't want to have two 95s that are exactly the same. I would like to get both of them together in a picture, but that'll be a little later. So we're going to do a wash in this machine, a boil wash. I have noticed from testing this machine, you'll see it as well, this machine has got a lot more torque than the other 9530. The motor ramps up a lot more quicker. We don't know how stable the machine is though or anything, although there's actually on this one, the self-leveling wheels are actually working on this, because the machine is normally unlevel here, but she's actually leveled herself. So they're working on this side. The two here are the self-leveling wheels. They basically drop down or raise up to accommodate the floor. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the machine. You might hear some rattling from the motor bearings because they are the old ones and we're just waiting a new motor. So the machine's not 100% perfect, but she's perfect enough to get on a few loads done. And we get loads of videos purely of the 9530 because we've missed that for so long. And then, of course, with the other 9530A, she is going to go to Matt and Elliot eventually. I'm still in two minds about whether I don't think I could give her up, but what I'm going to do, because she's my first ever washing machine, and I can't forget that. So, and I want to have two 9530s, because at the end of the day, if one of them conks out on me, I at least can have another one spare. But what we'll do is I'll probably, at some point, be good if we can maybe swap a machine with them again. Maybe, I don't know, or something like that. But it's in the very, very far future that she's going. So she's not going anywhere just yet. You will probably see her on Kai's channel soon, and then I'll get a fifth machine in. I have said I want a washer-dryer, but I'm still in two minds of whether I do want a washer-dryer in this house at the moment. Maybe just go for a washing machine. I do have something in mind, but it could be a very long wait till I find one. Anyway, I'm going to let this video go on, and we're going to get washing. Finally good to have a 9.5 back in this house. So yes, do expect me to jump out of my skin when this machine goes into spin, because she's been scaring me all week. I'm trying to time when the machine's going to spin. Seems that she spins at a different time than Barbara does. Oh, before you ask as well, if you guys have been asking me, Mark Leslie, you asked this question as well, and Washer Crazy was wondering as well. You guys want to, obviously you know I name my washing machines. I have a perfect name for this one. Washing machine guy Charlie, he suggested I call this machine Diana, but I've got the perfect name. Because all my washing machines are named for a reason, I don't just pick a name out of the blue. I've decided to call this washing machine Shirley. The reason for that is because this machine to me, using good old personal and comfort, we're going to do a load of towels. Now we're going to see obviously how much I can get in here, but I'm going to try my best not to bloody overload the machine. So I've got a habit of doing that. You wouldn't believe how horrible these towels smell, because they've been used for clearing up all the water that's come out of this machine. I definitely want to get that beach towel in there. Mainly just all the greasy ones that have been used to... Obviously the machine might look very full, but... Oh, we can actually get that in. Perfect. Full load, but not overloaded. There's still quite a bit of room at the top. There's nothing else left on the floor, no. So we're using all three compartments today because we're doing a pre-wash. One, because the towels need it. So you can just see some personal here. What I'll do is I'll do a full scoop, then I'll divide that between the compartments. So not too much in the pre-wash, about that much, and then the rest go in there. A tiny bit more. That's perfect. Trouble with the Hotpoint, GEC Hotpoints, is that the main washing compartment's a lot bigger than it should be, so than it needs to be. Line scale tablet, of course, that'll be dispensed during the main wash. Normally I throw it in the drum, but if you did that here, it would take it in during the pre-wash. And Comfort Pure conditioner. I've noticed this machine doesn't leave any water in the conditioner compartment after either. Well, I don't know yet. Okay. The all-time favourite. We're going to start off on pre-wash heavy soil. So, turn the timer. And this one has got no play in the dial, so that's directly on there. None of the options we're using. Without further ado, let's pull to start. Hope you enjoy this as much as I do, guys. Pleasure to have a 9.5 series back on this channel. More importantly, a 9530 and the one that I've always wanted. If you excuse Mum screaming in the background, she's playing some asteroids game or something on Facebook. She's screaming the face out like a gamer on an Xbox. Don't be surprised if we're seeing low water levels. I've been told not to mess with the pressure switch, so I'm not going to do that. But probably the previous owner has either fitted a new pressure switch to the machine from not a 9.5, or it's been adjusted for some reason. Possibly maybe the owner's water bill was too much. But to be honest, this machine looked like she was abandoned for a while, because the interior of the machine was like full of mud and everything. I've never seen a worse condition 9.5 series in my life. There we go. These motors have a tendency to squeak. And the machine fills purely with cold water on the pre-wash. Oh, I didn't like that. Oh, we're getting a proper level, I think. Struggling a bit though. This has got the old cheap carbon brushes in it, by the way. So not the genuine white ones. They are like cheap black copy ones, the black hole ones. So they'll run out very quickly. So I'm just going to look for some spare ones. That's going to distribution drain, guys. I want you to listen to what you can hear. Can you hear how loud the interlock buzzes? This has got a very loud interlock. Another thing I've always wanted. There's that really long distribution drain. See, the pump sounds a lot different on this. Wow, isn't it, that interlock? This is a very long distribution drain because it's for the entire duration of a spin, rather than it cutting off at about 30 seconds in or so, about a minute. Because it probably try to spin at the end, it always does that little jolt on the motor. But the motor on this is a lot more prominent than the other one. This one has got a proper growl to it. Love the sound of that interlock. That's proper loud. Because the 9530A would buzz, but not very loud. The Matt and Elliot did get her buzzing one day, but this is proper. Oh, Jesus Christ! Right, let's start the main wash. Push in, turn one, and we're filling with hot water. This, guys, our hot water pressure, remember, is not the best. So hopefully we'll get some steam out the drawer on this one. At least she fills purely with hot water. That's what keeps everything clean inside. That's reached a good solid 40, that has. I ran some Kilrock descaler through this machine. Best I could use. The amount of gunk that came out of the machine, literally just from pouring it through the drawer. There you go. That'll be the limescale tablet as well. Don't be surprised if you don't see many suds in this. We're using Persil, which is Persil non-bio is low suds. We use Persil Persil gems, however, yes. That'll be a totally different story. There's also going to be a lot of like soap powder residue that's still getting washed out of the machine. This is a pretty good level, to be honest. There we go. Most of it's been absorbed by the towels. Okay, so we do the proper level when loaded, just not with nothing in there. That water's about, at the most, about 45, I think. And now we're heating to 85 degrees Celsius. Well, we're on the heating stage, but the machine's doing the long tumbles, then we do the heating tumbles in a bit. This is bad because after a long day, the sound of a 9.5 tumbling puts me to sleep. It's not good for when the spins come though. And we've reached 85 degrees Celsius. Really not steaming out the drawer. Oh, and on half loads the machine does it. Keep it quiet so you guys can enjoy the motor sound. Distribution drain. That water was horrible. Sorry. Be prepared for Sudslocks. Let's see how short that first rinse is, by the way, as well. The motor does sound more prominent after a oil wash. The motor bearing is squeaking a bit. First rinse. I want to see if this one's as incredibly short as the 9530A is. I'll say it's somewhere about 30 seconds. Well, that's after the machine's filled. Tell the motor bearings are squeaking on this machine. There's some different ones than the new ones are on there. Right, I should be after this. Okay, I'm out of it. What about this? Let me set up on the worktop just to get this one. Can't tell how balanced that is. First loaded spin. That's not really dramatic. Fucking hell. Scared the life out of me, that is. It definitely sounds very different to the 9530A when that spins. That's got like the sound of a later 95, that's what I like. It's awesome. You can hear the towels hitting the front of the door sill. drive got slipping a bit there, so. Second rinse. Filling for second rinse. It's good that the machine tumbles whilst filling, helps absorb everything a lot better. I think doing a full load of towels is good though, it makes it more stable. Second intermediate spin. Let's see what will happen. Seems to balance very well, which is good. I don't know, it looks a little different. Let's see. There you go. That's definitely a bit giddy motor. Swirling that. Way! So that the dry bar might be slipping a bit though. I don't know what that is. It's going water like that instead of just. I'll have a look. I'll try to redistribute. We tried the thing with the timer, if you can get the machine to go up to 1000 RPM during the intermediate spin, this machine doesn't allow it, so there's probably something to do with the timer on that one. Because Chris's one can't do it, but Kai's 9534 is able to do it. Look how fast that session is going. Dial doesn't do it. Now we're on the third rinse. Third intermediate spin, I have just tightened the motor as much as I can, tension the belt. Hopefully she won't do this strange spin, we'll see. Hopefully to head over to the other side of the switch. She's more smoother. Better balance though. Oh my god! Kind of warm. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. I was paying attention. I'm getting angry. Handle that well though. Final rinse, taking in Comfort Pure. Comfort Pure. Perfect laundry combination. Final spin. Grand finale. Lovely smooth one. Well, towel wash, we've had really good spins. Now I've got a smooth final spin. So the end machine's trying to chug. You ready for it? Go guys. go. See the verdict. Actually very dry from that 1000 spin. Also because it was fully balanced as well, so also not smelling. Oh wow, it's actually pulled off all the grease and whatnot. So yeah, I won't. That's fine. I won't be doing any more washes really until this machine receives the replacement motor. But this all sounds alright, really. And look at this. No water left in the conditioner compartment. That's the first. So this is the new member to the collection, the 9530 that you're going to be seeing on my videos. The 9530A weights repairs on that. So yes, the intro titles will say, when it tells you what machines are on my channel, it will say Hotpoint 9530W/9530A electronic 1000 plus. So I don't know what we're going to be getting as the machines replace the ASCO. I don't know if I might go for a Hotpoint. I don't know. I don't want to have too much in my collection at the moment of Hotpoint, but we'll see. I have got two machines that I have my eye on, but obviously not on eBay at the moment or anything. So we'll see. What I might get into the thing of doing is doing what Kai does, getting some machines off eBay that work, giving them a clean up and then selling them on. So maybe you'll start seeing different machines appear on here. Even if it has to be modern machines, but I won't be keeping them. At least you could buy what, say like I found a Beko EcoCare for what, well not EcoCare, but like a Beko AA class or AAA class model, a Hotpoint WMD model, etc. Machine needs a good clean, fit a new door seal, etc. And then sell the machine on for what, like 80 to £100 probably make. See what we can do. But at the moment this machine's going to have a rest after that wash until the new motor arrives, and then we shall see what happens. Right, now, as I said to you, I have called this machine Shirley. The reason for that is because there's two reasons. As I said, my names are always chosen for a reason. So, for example, if you want to know why Millie is called, the me is called Millie. Millie is a very similar name in its spelling and pronunciation to Mila, sorry. And Millie is like, to me, a quiet sort of girl who, but at the same time doesn't put up with any, like she won't back down for anything. So we know Mila's are, this one's sort of a quiet machine, but doesn't back down to any task. Yeah. And then of course Barbara, the 9530A, is called that because at the same time I got that machine up and running, I had started liking the song by the Beach Boys called Barbara Ann. So that sort of popped in my mind to call her that, Barbara Ann. Because that year I'd gotten into the Beach Boys as well, so it was like a sort of an addition. I've got my first washing machine and now I'm into also another group. The Hoover A3060 is called Florence simply because that machine I love more than any machine in the world, and it's the same way I was about Florence Ballard. I sort of am in a way, but we all know that she's not my number one really. Well, she is in a way, but she sort of shares that joint with someone else, which brings us to the 9530W. So, like the A3060 was everything I've been looking for. Florence to me is a girl that would be everything I've been looking for in a girl. And because Florence was the only thing I loved more than that machine. Other than that, I love nothing more in life than the Hoover A3060. Nothing meant more for me to wait that long and find something. The Cassata is called Cassandra because, of course, it's very reminiscent to Cassata. I thought Cassata Cassandra. I did say if I was going to find a Hoover Classica, I would have called that Cassandra because Classica Cassandra sounds sort of similar. But Cassandra is for that. The ASCO was called Doris, but I don't ever regard that machine ever taking that name because the machine was in this house for so little time, she didn't have time to earn that name. The ASCO's only in here for one wash, and then after that was it. And of course now the 9530W is called Shirley because, here's the story. The 9530 is not 100% the exact Hotpoint 95 model I've always wanted. The exact model was the 95470, which is the new generation model. It's a 95490, but with a bronze door instead of a chrome one. And they're very rare machines. That's the white version, with the 95472 being the almond. Or I wanted from this range, I wanted the 9531W, which is the electronic 1000 Super. It's basically this machine with a spin slider on. And that's the Curry's exclusive model. It's basically a new and next generation crossover model because it has a new generation spin slider, but a next generation fascia. So, and works exactly the same as this machine. Doesn't have any difference because it's a spin slider. Oh, I did want a washer dryer. The 9900 was the one I wanted. The combination washer dryer Deluxe LE, which is Hotpoint's first washer dryer. New generation model, only one of them is in preservation with Chester Mike UK. So, there were times when I was like, about the 9530, oh, she's not really what I wanted, and I sometimes used to underappreciate that machine. But now that this damage has happened to my one, and I realised how lost I was without that machine, that's why I was like, I'll take a 9530. And, you know, obviously I wasn't going to call this one Barbara because I've already got a 9530A. I don't want to reuse that name because that one earned that name and that's my first one. So I called this one Shirley because it's because of Shirley Owens of the Shirelles, the lead singer, or she's now called Shirley Alston Reeves. I called this machine Shirley was originally saved for another machine that I wanted. I'm not going to say what one it was because in case that one pops up on eBay, I know what's going to happen. But she was going to be saved for that. But really, I think she suits a 9.5 best. I feel the machine has, because at the same time I got into the Supremes, I'd also started liking the Shirelles a couple of months later. And I always used to look at Shirley and think, oh, she's a very lovely looking girl, but I don't know her name or anything. But I used to ignore the fact that I liked her. So it's kind of like the same thing with the 9530. I used to ignore the fact that I really did love this machine and just wanted something else instead. But really, you know, like the 9530 was my go-to machine. You know, when the A3060 wasn't working, we had the 9530 going all the time. So Shirley is now like my number one girl because she's my number one celebrity crush, and it's the same way with the 9530. The 9530W is now what really means the most to me. She's my childhood. Also, my nanny is called Shirley as well. And she owned a 95 series. It was either a 9516 or a 9517 Electronic 800 Plus. It's the one with the flush door model and the Aquarius style font on there. So it had the pre-wash and whatnot was in blue instead of red. Because it was the model below the Aquarius models. So having this machine is basically like a childhood model. That's why I wanted a brown and white one, because the brown and white ones are my childhood models. So this really does feel like I truly have an actual 9.5 in the house. Because the almond one was a bit hard to sort of like settle in. So that's another reason I called this machine Shirley, because it's like she's bringing back childhood memories. But also as well, you know how obviously I like African American girls. They're my, if I had to have a girlfriend, that's what I want. I wouldn't want, I know, I don't like going into that personal side of me, because I learnt the hard way really with, you know, girls this year and whatnot, last year, I mean. So, back in the day in the 60s, when we had the civil rights movements and whatnot, and people wanted what they called integration. They wanted, because really if you think about a person, I don't like calling people black because they're not actually black. They're not an actual black colour, they're this kind of colour. So to me, brown and white symbols integration of, you know, white people and African American. So that's another reason. It's like, you know, me liking Shirley, who's an African American girl, is like the fact I'm a white person liking, and that's why I wanted to call this machine Shirley. Because I now love this machine more than anything, you know, like, in that way. And I never let one go. If I really didn't care about the 9530, I would not have bothered trying to get that machine repaired. Although I know I technically, you know, Barbara must be really angry with me in the shed, thinking you've replaced me with another model of mine. Now I could just simply take Barbara's motor out and stick it in this machine and she'd be perfectly fine. But I don't want to start doing that to Barbara, because at the end of the day, that machine's perfectly working. If I start taking things off that machine, I could start crippling Barbara as well. So I'd rather just wait for the new motor for this machine and then we'll see what happens. I won't do any videos at the moment of this machine, but just have this one to roll out. As for the Miele, we're going to get this one up and running, and then I'm going to get do some, well, not up and running. Next one we'll do Sainsbury's biological £1 powder test in there. I'll keep the 9530W in, because the new motor ends in about 5 days on eBay, and I don't really want to be moving this machine around, so I'd rather keep this machine where she is, and then yeah, we'll just see where she goes. So I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. I know the machine doesn't sound 100% perfect, but at least she's working, she's waterproof and watertight and etc. And that's that. I'll keep up some British Heart Foundation visits. We'll do another visit this week, probably to the Hounslow one, or we'll do the Hounslow one maybe tomorrow after work, and then Wednesday we can head to the Wandsworth one. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Thursday we can head to the Wandsworth one, and then we'll see what happens, see what we find. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and don't forget to keep it supreme and go with the flow.